MPL, nagkaroon lang sila ng bagong, yun nga, sub-core. And, of course, isa sila sa team na talagang consistent within the tournament. May mga pinapakita silang bago every time. But I think this time, ng week 1 ng MPL, kahit pa paano, nasindak din sila sa mga kalaban nila. Why is this, kaibigang Butters?
It could be a possibility, sabihin na lang natin, na some of the teams I feel focused on the 10-ban setup kasi yun nga yung gagamitin natin for the majority.
Yes.
So there are a lot of, I think some of the teams, there is a lot of emphasis into just, studying 10 bans rather than the 6 bans. Kasi kapag ka medyo nasoak mo or sabihin natin napasok mo yung sarili mo in the mindset na kailangan ko na mag-set up for the 10 bands 10 band lineup.
Yeah.
10 band lineup is you'll have a better time in this. And sa totoo lang, I think this is the most important thing to have in the MPL right now kasi dun talaga naka-rotate lahat ng drafting patterns natin. That's going to be very important for them.
Of course, na-notify na rin lahat ng mga teams na yun na nga ang magiging format. Ladies and gentlemen, kilalanin naman natin ngayon na makakalaban nila ang team ng BSB.
Production assistant ako sa advertising company. Nung nakitaan ako ng potential ng team dati dun sa DD, dun na nag-start ng harap ako sa paglalaro ng Mobile Legends.
Nung dati kasi laro-laro lang. Ngayon, parang work na rin na kailangan mo tutukan.
Wala talaga sa utak ko maging pro team nun. Gusto ko lang pustahan lang talaga eh. Kasi doon kami nagkaka-pera. Pag nagkapustahan, doon ako makakuha ng pang-uuwi namin pera sa bahay. Nung napunta kami sa BSB, doon na pumasok yung utak namin na maging pro kasi nagkaroon kami ng manager.
Nakaka-challenge, makipagsabayan bilang kapwa.
Horns up! BSB! Capuan, Trevor, Wilson, Scheider, Anna, and Drix papasok na ngayon sa kanilang sophomore season. Last week, again, pinatunayan nila na ang mga kampyon ay dumudugo din. Binigyan ng isang sapak ang Aura PH on that grueling game number 2 na sobrang nagulat tayong lahat na you cannot really underestimate teams that are in the lower ranks pagdating sa MPL. They finished 7th last season and this time hoping to make a statement once again. Butters, na-point out mo kanina na interesting ang pagkapasok ng mga teams dito. Especially doon sa nakita nating interview.
Yeah. Well, yun talaga yung itsura ng amateur scene natin. It's very interesting in a way na some of these players talaga galing lang sa mga bet game na dumarating sa point na they find the passion, they find the talent, and they find the drive to actually make it in kapag nabagyan sila ng opportunity.
Yeah. Sanabi na nga rin ni Capuan kanina na doon siya gumaling din eh. And ang interesting part is si Wilson pala yun. Si Wilson, doon siya gumaling eh. And ang interesting part, sinabi rin ni Capuan na na-discover lang din daw siya and nag-shift siya, iba yung career niya last time. And sabi niya, why not try ML? And interestingly, BSB, before even the season the season 5 nung pumasok sila, they've been dominating the offline tournaments every time. And ang interesting kasi dito, we're seeing their teammates, which is actually on the team B, which is si Ana ngayon, and Drix, na interestingly ang aggressive at umangat. No? Why is this? Parang ang aggressive nung kanyang Yuzong, ang aggressive nung kanyang Joe, and they always go to the lineup na parang puro fighters ang kinukuha nila. I think interesting 'yon kasi papasok mo tayo sa 5-man ban eh.
ang kailangan natin tignan dito is kung paano, di ba, nag-set up or nag-adjust itong dalawang players na to. Naniniwala kasi ako na yung dalawang players na to na bago, laging pagkabago ka may gusto ka patunayan eh. So, pinapakita mo sa lahat. So, feeling ko yun yung drive nila ngayon na patunayan natin na magaling din tayo kasi kaya naman natin eh.
Papalag naman pala. Ladies and gentlemen, ating kilalanin pa kung ano nga bang mga adjustments ang kailangan gawin ng ating mga players doon sa tinatawag nating solo analyst moment ni Kuya Wolf.
Thank you so much, Manjin and Butters. I'm your analyst, Wolf. At, well, tinanong kung ano nga ba yung dapat adjustments ng mga teams natin heading into this match. Well, di naman din ganun kaganda yung kanilang performance in the previous week, or at least hindi as advertised, di ba? Nevertheless, this is the stat line na kailangan nga nating i-work on for both teams. Interestingly, same number of games played, which means that sa dalawang series na kanilang ginawa parehas na 2-1, there's more unique heroes picked by Onic as well as BSB, and 20 unique heroes picked for some total of 6 games. Honestly, that's impressive. If you're looking at other teams, hindi ganito kataas yung unique heroes picked nila when they're playing 6 heroes. It kind of tells us that maybe MPL-PH and BSB, maybe they're prepared for the upcoming 10-ban system, which we will be talking about later. Nevertheless, ang kailangan tingnan din, almost the same when it comes to team damage per minute, which kind of tells us, ganito rin yung idea ng Onic and BSB, they always want to clash as much. And actually, ang talagang nagkaroon lang ng difference dito is when it comes to the Lord's lane as well as the Turtle's lane, because aside from that, halos gitna ang pare sa teams natin. So, what does this tell us? Ano ba ang sinasabi sa atin ng priority ng BSB, yung Turtle, at mas priority ng MPL-PH, yung Lord? For me, not much. Pare silang may priority at emphasis when it comes to objectives. However, this tells me, dahil laging may Lord na nakuha dito ang MPL-PH, sila yung mas tumatagal papunta sa late game, papunta sa 12-minute mark, at sila yung nakakuha ng mga important objectives na yun. And as I was looking at Onic and BSB when I was watching their matches, ang Onic, kapag sila ay nananalo, this is the series na nakikita natin na mas nag-scale sila sa late game. Well, gumagamit sila ng Assassins for Basics for sure, but when it comes to winning those crucial matches na talagang tumatagal till late game, they have a big priority when it comes to taking the Lord. Samantalang BSB naman, they are more particular when it comes to owning the early game. I'm not so sure if this is their playstyle all throughout the MPL Season 6, but so far last weekend, ang napansin natin sa BSB is yun nga, meron silang emphasis to winning as early as possible. And they have trouble closing out the games. Most of the games na hindi na-close out dito ng BSB is when they lose from teams na mas magaling nga tumapos ng laro, wherein this is something that they should be looking to improve on coming into this series. Now for Onic and BSB, like I said before, mukhang medyo handa sila coming into the 10-ban system. Well, if we are looking at their unique heroes picked, we can honestly say yes, but we will expect more from them for sure. Now sa Onic side, hindi ako masyadong doubtful na handa sila sa coming 10-man system. Knowing this team historically mula sa MPL Season 4, meron silang mga new meta na pinapakita sa atin. And not only that, yung activatable nga yung kanilang 6-man, which is a toss-up between Wise or Basic. Sino bang gagamitin natin? Si Basic ba or si Wise? Kinda tells me that Onic is more flexible when it comes to choosing yung kanilang mga strategies na gagamitin onto the upcoming games. Now for BSB, medyo scary, and hopefully they will show up some strategies coming into MPL Season 6, lalong-lalo na dahil nga 10 na yung bans natin. Our player head-to-head match is Dilar and Wilson, very good offlaners. I think Dilar has proven himself one of the best offlaners out there. Kung offlane man ang tawag dun sa role na yun, but I guess technically speaking, the side lanes. And we know na madami ding nagagamit tong hero si Dilar, but I think that the fact that there's a big emphasis on both of our offlaners, Wilson and Dilar, who performed well last weekend, siguro magkakaagawan, magkakaubusan nga ng mga side laners dito fit for them. And I think that for Dilar, nagpa-flourish siya kapag yung kanyang type ng heroes is yung mga kaya talaga mag-sustain ng lane, like your Thams, like your Uranus. This is how he rises. But when it comes to playmaking, baka doon mag-shine si Wilson. I think last week, we saw how Wilson can help into facilitating for team fights, lalo na kapag gumagamit siya ng mga initiators. I'm very particular of the Khalid here for both players kasi medyo magkaiba yung kanilang playstyle. I would honestly say na mas aggressive ang BSB when taking this Khalid, while medyo nasa defensive side naman when Dilar is playing it. And that will actually translate into other heroes, right? Like your Yuzongs, like your Esmeralda potentially. I think Uranus, baka auto-ban pa rin to sa pares na teams, knowing na may malaking comfort each team with this strategy. And now that the 10-ban system is up, probably we get to see different heroes or different style of heroes for both of these offlaners. Nevertheless, I'm sure na magkakaroon tayo ng mainit na laban between Onyx and BSB as they really want to get up to the scoreboard kahit pangatlong game pa lang nila. Now, ano ba ang naiisip na ating mga casters? From what I just said, back to you, Manjin and Butters.
Maraming salamat, Solo Wolf. Maraming salamat. Interesting.
Lone Wolf.
The Lone Wolf.
Lone Wolf.
The Lone Wolf. Tama. Interesting ang mga na-point out ni Wolf dito. BSB, they're having problems on how to end the game. Probably nako-control nila dito yung early game. But I think with the meta evolving, no? Lalo na itong mga nagkakaroon na tayo ng mga teams na this time marunong na magtago sa mga bushes, no, parang kailangan pang hanapin ng BSB yung groove nila on how to put a mark sa pagtapos ng laro.
Kasi tama yung sinabi mo dyan face checks are being a very important factor
Ngayon,
in
no?
MPL na dumarating tayo sa point na nagkakaroon ng Popol and Kupa picks, nagkakaroon ng Selena picks just to get that extra vision para hindi nila kailangan masyadong gumalaw. Tatandaan natin na knowing is half the battle. So, ibig sabihin, kapag ka na-place mo yung trap mo doon, na-place mo yung trap din ni Popol and Kupa, that could be enough to actually make you react doon sa bottom o doon sa top. At kasi alam mo kung nasaan yung mga tao, alam mo kung nasaan yung mga particular spots na medyo mahina sila at that point in time.
Yeah.
So you can just abuse that and rinse and repeat.
Knowing is
Half the battle.
half the battle. Ang sa akin naman, kapag may vision, meron kang mission.
Tama.
Tama ka dyan. And I think the mission here for BSB is to, again, put the nail into the coffin. We are now seeing them right now preparing this time again for the 10-man ban. Interesting comparison between Wilson and of course yung katapat niya kanina na si Dilar. Wilson, one of the players na aasahan mo kapag mga clutch moments. And I think nadagdagan pa actually sa side ng BSB yung mga clutch players. Like what we've said, Ana on the show, nandyan mga si Drix. Na nakikita natin outstanding ang performance. And just to give you a little bit of background, Butters, with this team, they've been playing before even joining the MPL. Kung hindi pa nauuso ang tournaments, naglalaro na tong mga to. So, I think the chemistry between these players, is stronger rather than last season. Tama ba ako dyan? And meanwhile, nakita natin ang team No Pimple Squad.
Oo.
Ang MPL-PH.
Walang stress.
No stress.
Walang kahit ano. Lahat suwabe. Lahat pogi.
Lahat, kahit feeling ko na ano sila na nakukuhaan sila ng mga magagandang skincare tips ng kanilang captain at ng kanilang manager na si Melee, the Melee and Venus combination. Pati ata si Toriyama
naman, Toriyama.
Skincare.
Wala.
Skincare tips na rin no?
Walang tatalo kay Toriyama, pre. Ito sinasabi ko sa'yo, looking at them, ito yung maganda sa mga team bootcamp. I don't really think they know na at this certain point in time na pinapakita sila. Kasi kung pinapakita sila, alam nila, medyo aware sila dyan But the thing is, nakikita natin kung paano yung mga pre-game ritual na ginagawa nila. Kumbaga, nakita natin yung Oni kanina, may prayer.
May prayer
Yes. And itong BSB, yan.
Ayan
Meron
na.
pa silang,
Let's go, Onyx!
Let's go, Onyx!
Pumapalakpak pa. Pumapalakpak
Oo,
pa.
TikTok.
Oo.
Tapos na, Tapos na sila doon, pre. Pero, look at this. The current setup for these teams, yun talaga yung nagugustuhan ko.
Yeah.
Like, we're seeing, sila lang.
Yeah,
Sila lang to.
Ang interesting din ito, no? So, we've seen Onyx-PH on their ritual sa umpisa, and it seems like si Wise.
Si Basic hindi naka-uniform.
Hindi naka-uniform. Hindi siya maglalaro. Mukhang hindi siya maglalaro. Nakita na natin na dahil walang uniform, Wise will be playing this one. Interestingly, nandito din ang kanilang coach na si Rio. And sa part naman dito ng Onyx is they marami silang pinapakitang bago. They're one of the teams na na may binagawang bagong trend sa MPL, no? Sa kanila natin unang nakita ang healing galing technique. Parang na-prioritize din nila yung 1-2-2 noon. But this time, they're up against a team na I can say na magaling mag-adapt.
Yeah.
In every strat that there is. And which, na nakita na natin sila, they are BSB and mukhang nakapag-ritual na rin sila. Interestingly, si Shider, yung pinaka may experience sa kanila, will be the one in the 6-man. I think interesting perspective din yun kasi Shider can point out things na probably hindi nakikita ng players sa loob ng game.
Yun nga yung nakikita ko dito for BSB last season. Kasi Shider is really known to be a mage player. So, ibig sabihin, he came into a point na nagbago yung buong meta natin, nagkaroon ng funnel. And if you're the mid laner, then that means you'd be forced to pick yung mga Lancelot. Not really Lancelot. At that time, hindi din maganda si Lancelot. Sabihin natin si Carrie, sila Claude. I really think na kung hindi naging sobrang drastic ng funnel sa Season 5 natin, I think BSB could have gone the distance pa.
Kasi biglang nag-shift. Biglang nag-shift yung biglang nag-shift yung meta. We witnessed 1-1-2-2 strats, and then naging 1-3-1 yung rotations, and now this time at least maaga ngayon nagkaroon ng warning ang BSB na, hey, magbabago tayo ulit. Magiging 5-man ban. And I think, given the history of BSB, like what we've said, the best ones to adapt in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now at the draft, the 5-man draft. Onyx-PH priority banning the Valier.
Yeah.
And the Taps.
And that only means that they would go full fighter setup dito for the side lanes. They're not gonna go for those cheeky mage side lanes.
Yeah.
Probably an Esmeralda for Onyx-PH. Hindi natin alam. The Thams is there as well. Usually kapag Valir na yung binaban mo, you wouldn't really want the other team to actually get it. Pero the thing is, wala yung Thams dito. Binano Onyx-PH. They ban out the Uranus din. Onto the side of BSB, they ban out the Yuzhong, Selena. So that is an implication na baka gusto nila mag-Ison shit. Pwede.
Kasi tanggal ang vision control dito. Sabi ng BSB, ayaw namin ng high tempo vision control coming in from your side, especially with the Selena. But then again, the Luyi is also open.
Yeah.
The Popol and Kupa is also open for Onyx-PH. Let's see kung papasok ba dito yung sinasabi mong all fighters, pseudo fighters and pseudo tank setup for Onyx-PH. What is going to be the opening? Esmeralda is an option. Atlas is also an option. Actually,
Kufra is an option. Pwede sila kumuha ng YSS. It wouldn't really hurt them if they would go for it. And they will go for the Khalid. I think for some of the teams dito, like Onyx-PH, for Bren and the others, parang hindi naman sobra-sobra yung pagkakaroon nila ng emphasis into getting that Khalid. Pero kasi sobrang annoying ng Khalid.
Yeah. Magugulat ka na lang na hindi pala namamatay.
Oo.
No, magugulat ka na lang na akala mo nagdadasal eh. At ang taas ng sustain. Actually, that self-healing is a good kit for the off-laners, the sustain side laners. And we're still not sure if who's gonna play it, if it's going to be Iaknu and Lar Meanwhile, na-open na dito, like what you said, Butters. Yishun Shin. There's actually a nerf on Yishun Shin.
Yeah.
But still, players are using it because of the vision control and of course, yung crits. But we shall see dahil mukhang inubos na ng Onyx PH dito yung kanilang side lane fighters, the Balmond and Khalid.
Yeah. And ito na yung sinabi natin kanina, Manjin. Double fighter setup onto the side lane. So they don't really want Valir to be there. Bakit mo baban si Valir? Because Durance is one of the things na talagang kaya ko counter dito.
Yeah.
Kapag ikaw isang Valir, parang natural Durance carrier ka eh.
Oo. Kasi may ability power and meron ding damage, 'di ba? There we go. There we go.
Digi yung kinuha nila.
There we go. Ang itlog.
It could be the cheese strat na ginawa ng Aura PH. Pero kasi ang titingnan ko dito for Onyx PH naman, if BSP pick that Digi at pinaplano nilang gawin yung same strat as Aura PH,
Yep.
Onyx can go for the Hilda.
Yep.
Tapos kunan niya ng stacks.
Oo.
Ng ulti, etong si
Digi.
si
Si
Cap 1
Cap 1.
siya magagamit.
There you go. There you go. Heroes that benefit with bets are actually good counters. Great counters actually.
You know what yung
For
isa
the
pa?
Digi. Sino pa?
You know what yung isa pa?
Si-
Yung talent, yung emblem talent, Festival of Blood.
Festival of Blood. There you go. There you go. Even the Mincitar can actually be picked here.
Passive, no?
Yeah, it's a good counter to the Cho. But I think, sabi ng BSB dito, teka lang, napanood nyo na yun ng week 1. Pwede naman natin baguhin ng week 2. I like the concept here with the Digi din kasi it saves the Yishun Shin. Classic time journey technique mula sa Digi. Even the Raging Statstorm, pwede siyang makawala.
Yep.
Kahit papano. So, we shall see kasi papasok na tayo sa ating third phase ng picks and bans. Dati dati second phase lang
Oh,
eh.
eto, Mena. Sa totoo lang, hindi ko na nakikita dito na gagawin nila yung Digi strat.
Ako din eh.
Kasi masyadong strong yung side lanes dito
Ng Onyx.
PH. At para mapatakbo yung Digi strat na yun, nakita niyo yung ginawa ng Aura PH yun, they banned out the Uranus, they
Oo.
banned out the Cho, they banned out yung mga, sabihin natin, Yuzhong,
Oo.
para hindi na makontrol yung lane. Eh, itong dalawang fighter sa side lane ng Onyx PH, yung offensive and defensive nila,
Mataas.
very strong setup.
Yes.
So, if you don't win your side lanes at pinamigay mo pa yung Digi mo, that means dalawang tao na lang yung gumagana
Yes.
sa lineup mo mismo.
Yes, there's a certain way for you to play that ano ba pwede nating tawagin? Itlog strategy. You need sustain lanes. I think not just your side lanes eh. Kasama na din yung mid lane mo doon. No? So that's why good din yung Jason Shin. But this time, BSB, they're respecting the course here now for the side of Onyx PH. I like the Tams and the export ban para sa side ng Onyx.
Looking at it dito, I just feel that yung export was a good ban. Kasi ayaw mo din kasi onto the side of Onyx PH na magamitan yung glowing wand tsaka ice queen wand setup for these fighters.
Oo.
They're very tanky. Yes, they're very tanky. Pero kasi consistent yung DOT ng
Yes.
isang export.
Yes. And actually, 4 na fighters ang binan ng Onyx PH. And yung Tams, oo nga. I think there's a little bit of visual bug here for Onyx PH. We're gonna check that out. What is the other ban? But it seems like it's another fighter. It seems like it's another fighter for Onyx PH. Napahaka doon, Butters.
Lilia has been picked a lot for, well, not a lot, pero for week number 1 ng MPL Indonesia, they've been picking Lilia against these kinds of hero setups. I like the thought process dito na ginawa ng BSB. They get the Lilia. It's actually an answer for Dilar and Yakno. And kumbaga, they have consistent damage. They can push the waves easily. They can clear the waves easily. Minions, towers, you name it, they got it. Cyclops and Hayabusa, hulihan ang laban dito ng
Yep.
side ng Onyx PH.
I like it. I think it's the only option then for Onyx PH since nawala yung Farsa and nawala yung Valir. And going back to your point, the Lilia right now, baka bumalik din. It's a good combination after the time pool of the Digi. Lalabas ang mga black balls ng Lilia dito. So much damage actually coming in for the side of BSB. Ang tanong, kaya nila ma-burst itong lineup ng Onyx PH, especially having the Atlas, Khalid, and the Balmond. But there you go. That's your burst.
Terizla,
That's your damage.
si Terizla, nagkaroon siya ng significant buff in terms of the slow ng kanyang ultimate. I like it kasi at least yung mga heroes na walang flicker, it's not that easy to get out from Terizla. And alam naman natin dito that if you really want consistent damage and you really want to bruise the enemy team, Terizla is the way to go.
Yeah, especially kapag kasama mo tong mga heroes na to na gusto ng matagalang laban. Terizla is one of the best. Like what you've said, the passive, na bumababa yung attack damage mo every time umabot sa threshold ng health niya. Sobrang goods nun, I think. But the Balmond is an execute hero. It's true damage. Execute siya. So I think, parang nagkukontrapelo eh. Yung passive ni
ang tawag
Terizla,
dito,
pwedeng makounter lang ng Balmond
ang tawag dito pare, complicated relationship.
Complicated relationship.
Counter nila yung isa't isa. Nasa gitna sila ng oo at hindi.
Pero, oo nga eh. Pero sa tingin ko, parang machambahan nung saktong Balmond threshold. Yeah, tapos pa rin eh. But we shall see. We shall see if the Terizla is a good pick here for the side of BSB. Going into the draft, Butters, hindi pa tayo nakakapag-vote. I think mas madali pa rin ma-pull off ang sa Onyx kasi like what you've said, you need sustain lanes. No? You need good lanes. And we shall see. For me, I think game 1 Onyx. How about you?
I would have to side with Onyx and there's a reason why kung bakit ko sasabihin to. If you guys saw, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys saw yung talent ng sabihin natin dito ng Khalid at ng Balmond, you would actually see na meron silang dalawang Festival of Blood sa side nila.
Oh!
So, they're actually prepared.
For the Diggy.
For the Diggy. If
For the
ever
Diggy.
he tries to go for for all the shenanigans na meron siya.
The Itlog Strat.
Kasi if you get the 14 kills, so ibig
Sa
sabihin,
festival, oo.
that's going to be maximum potential on your side.
Yes.
And 14%, sabihin natin 14-15%, that's actually equivalent to probably an item.
Yeah.
Sabihin natin tier 3 item in
Yeah.
terms of Mobile Legends Bang Bang.
Agad,
so,
no?
Agad-agad. So,
Agad.
so if the Diggy will really try to go for, sabihin natin dito, those cheeky plays, then Khalid and Balmond, feeling ko handa sila magpalitan dito eh.
Yeah, naka-ready. Naka-ready. Yung Onyx PH, kumbaga, nakailang ranked games din siguro sila na may nag-diggy.
Yeah.
And, guys, I think if you're wondering what's the final ban for Onyx, Hilda pala yung pinanila
Hilda
dito.
yung
Kaya
pinanila.
siguro na puwersa yung BSB kumuha nung Terizla
Yeah.
on their side. And yes, I agree with you, Butters. Interesting